Hello everybody, Ken here again. Today I'll be teaching you some basics of how to use your probes out there doing some exploration, how to find it, and giving you some awareness of your surroundings. So as you can see here, this is my overview, a very crucial instrument and tool while you're out there looking for sites. I'm currently in Sheenans, as you can see, but no, naturally this event will be done in a dangerous sector such as nullsec, wormhole, or lowsec. Now let's get right to it. Yep. So currently I have the expanded probe launcher. Naturally you will have a regular probe launcher. I'm using combat scanners today. However, you can use combat scanners, but naturally you're going to be using standard cores. Now for these, go with use with core scanners. These are the basic ones to scan down cosmic anomalies. Do we have any here? No. As you can see here, they will show up here. I have none filtered, so we're just going to move on until we find one. While that's doing that, naturally you want to set 8. 8 is the maximum that you can shoot out of your probe launcher to get maximum efficiency out of your scans. There is some other modules that you can utilize to help you increase your effects while using this. And actually follow along here. We're in the regional market now. We're going to go to scanning equipment, and here's your scanning stuff. Analyzers, of course. When you find those sites, you can either data or relic site. So we do have one cosmic anomaly here. So these combat sites, of course, combat. Don't want that. Naturally, you're an explorer, and your explorer fit. So of course, you're gonna need the Core Probe Launcher 1 here, set with an 8-pack of probe scanners once, or sister cores. Sisters are the better one than the cores. They have a little bit of strength. Then for your scanning equipment, just take a read here, and you can best fit what you need. Help your scan, deviations, and we'll talk about that a little later. Scan strength, the range finding one is very, very beneficial, especially when scanning down some of the more tougher or advanced sites. You'll definitely need that. And then of course their T2 variants. But as long as you have your analyzer, your launcher, and probes, and some upgrades, that's really all you need for a really basic setup now. And of course, if you want to be a little more cheeky, before you even do this site, you can get yourself a cargo scanner, right? Log onto that that relic or data item before you crack open to get the loot. You can actually scan it, so you don't waste your time, and you already know what's in there, and you can choose to do the site or not. Now, let's get out of this real quick. Naturally, your page will be docked like this. It's not a good practice as the solar window is relatively big and you don't really necessarily need it up at all times. So what I do, I like to pop it out, right? Put it on the wrong side here, make it a little smaller so it doesn't consume my screen. Then we have that there, very useful for PvP as you can just move everything around as you would like. Now we have this signature here. As you can see, the bubble will move around. This solar map here is 3D, right? So you can move it up, down, left, right, anywhere you want, right, around that item. You can also free look around, right click around, left click to rotate around that axis, whichever you're located. However, just double click, brings you right to it, and you can do whatever you want. Next, you're going to deploy. You don't want just once loaded in, you just left click it there, they pop out. Mine naturally, yours may end up as a spread formation. This formation is naturally only used if you're out and about and you don't want to go over to the site or you don't want to go in that ranged area. So as you can see here, I put these right for you real quick. This is our D-scan bubble, the green spherical dealy here. That's our D-scan range. Now, if you think there's something out here by my bookmark here, and you don't want to physically go there, you can use this as a bubble, and you can search around the area for anything else that may be crawling around. Know that these scanners cannot identify cloaked targets. Okay, this is only entities that, of course, you can see on your D-scan, of course, on your overview. Keep that in mind while you're out there in the dangerous sectors. Now I have everything in here. You see NPCs, deployables, all that. Okay, and they're all in this centralized area. As you can see, they're bubbles here. Now, if there was anything out here, we'd pick them up just like as these items here. However, they're just in this centralized area, so it's fine. But that's a very practical use for the spread formation. However, when you find anomalies or any other ships, you're going to use the pinpoint. I have combat so I can scan down ships. Here, standard core probes will not be able to do that. And of course, you can choose to ignore these results or other results like that. I don't like to do that. I want to see everything. So that way, when I'm trying to find a target or I'm looking for something specific, I can already see it all there. I don't mind. So we're just going to focus on our... where did it go? Cosmic signature. Here it is. So as you can see the bubble there, you can see it moves when that one's selected. So now, when you look at this, make sure you're not just looking from above, not from the bottom, or just the sides, right? You want to look at all angles. Where it's at, okay, it's down below. I'm gonna move center, do a double check, verify. Yep, it's pretty close. Zoom all the way in. If you want to do that, you can. Just to be perfectly aligned here, double check, verify, and we are good to go. Now you have to make sure as much as possible you can get all your spheres within that circle here. Bring it down. Nope, it's too small, right? Too small, because that signature could be right at these outer limits and you may not be able to pick it up. Just make sure the whole circle is encompassed with your probes. We're here at 4AU. We're going to hit analyze and see what kind of data we get back. And of course, with this speed here can be decreased by your skills as well as that module like that we looked over. So it's not there, so we're going to have to do an increase because it may not be in this generalized area either. It could simply be up here, down there, wherever, right? That's just generalized area, so if that does happen to you, increase it by 1 increment. And then look, it is up here, as you can see, so we're just going to move our dealie up here. Alright, again, make sure it's center, double check your angles, all of them, before you hit scan, or else you're going to waste time. We're going to bring it down 1 notch to try to hone in on it. We're sitting at 8.8%. Let's see what we get next. And surprise, surprise, wormhole at 36.8. So again, we're going to zoom in on it. Now we're getting a little closer to the 100% here. Now you want to get as close as you can to the target here. Double check before scan, and of course, lower your increment again to really hone in on it. Moved yet again. Click on that here. I'm going to try to move over again. Get a little closer, because again, we're going to lower our increment yet again, so we want to be as accurate as possible with our cluster here. Downgrade it again. And now the same rule applies for ships. You're going to go through this exact process. However, if you are scanning down a ship, you'll notice that your probes will pop up on the D-scan, right? You'll see these sisters probes out here. You know, somebody's scanning a ship down, most likely, and then boom. Got that 100%, and we can warp to it. Not always will you have a an easy one like this, sometimes you'll get a 98%, 99, and you're doing all you can, right? And you're within as close as possible, 0.5 AUs. Now you want to try, if that does happen to you, right? Hit control, and it'll bring up all this, and you can move them around, right? Or you can hit your scroll wheel in and out. If it does, you just need a little extra. Try to bring them a little closer together here, okay? And slowly bring them closer together, or go outwards. Because as you can see, the overlapping sphere, they have all of them are overlapping over the middle point here that we have to place all our probes. That may get you some better results. You can try to mess with it either way, and hopefully get that extra 1 or 2% out of it, out of your scan. If not, and you've done all you can, you're gonna have to go off of your skills or get that scan strength module and slap it on your ship. Then you'll be able to get it. So now we've arrived as soon as, right, and this only applies in dangerous areas. As soon as you get that 100%, make sure you retract your probes as fast as you can, right? Get that scan as quickly as possible, get it to 100% and retract. That way, if people are out there, they're going to know that you're doing something out there, right? You're scanning a wormhole, you're doing a data site, or trying to find it. And if they have already scanned down the signature, they can utilize their D-scan, right? And they will literally look toward, like if this was the wormhole there, they will look towards that direction. Oh. And boom, they already know, hey, he's at that anomaly over there. I'm just going to warp to him easily, right, if he's already scanned down that area. Or you could warp to the side here, and they would already be in there, maybe cloaky or not. Now, when you find a wormhole, some wormholes have other names. This one's a Kilo 162. A Kilo 162 means it is an exit hole, okay? I'm going to show some info on here. And this gives you some really good info here. Very crucial info when entering any wormhole. Just take a read. They are different. They're all different. So, an unstable wormhole deep in space. Wormholes of this kind usually collapse after a few days and can lead anywhere. So this leads to unknown space, as you can see. It is the beginning to decay and won't last another day. So this means that this wormhole will be up for another or less than 24 hours. And the holes do have a maximum weight capacity. As it reads there, ships passing through this will be disrupted, or the stability will be disrupted. So if you do look on the wormhole itself, it does look relatively stable. Just looking at it, you'll be able to tell. If it's very wobbly, very shaky, you'll know that a lot of ships have been passing through, or it is due to collapse soon because its time has come and it needs to go. Okay, and of course, before you leave, make sure you save the location. That way you can go back to it, even if you're in the wormhole itself. Save that location. It will very much benefit you because when you go in a wormhole, there is many anomalies out there, and you have to scan them all down. And as I say that, there's only 3, but it'll save you some time, right? And that way, if people are looking for you, you already have it scanned down, and you already know where to go. Now, as you get to the other side, you need to save this location. This action right here, save it. Save underlines. Save it for yourself, never, and save it. That is every time you go into any wormhole. That is the first order of business. Okay? That way you know where your exit's at, and you're good to go. You don't have to scan it down, trying to find your way back. You are good to go. Now, when you're on the other side, make sure you do a 360 scan of the entire area. And also pull up your solar map, just to get the gist of things, where things are located, and what you can see in your G-scan. Very crucial. So there is some anomalies out here. Okay. And look, cloak timer is coming down, and you are now exposed, okay? If you move a little bit, just moving in one direction, you will expose automatically. Now, of course, be spontaneous, okay? When you're moving around through wormhole space, don't warp to 0. Warp at range. Any range, just don't warp to 0. Probably don't warp at 10 either, because you're still within the range of where somebody can catch you. And while you're moving around, even while you're doing your sights, right? So I'll give you a demonstration here. Okay. Try to find where I'm at. I'm at over there. Okay, cool. Pull out these probes, and I'm gonna keep moving. Okay. I want to scan this down. Just listen. I'm gonna do this relatively quickly here. Come out, bloom it up one time, scan. Okay. Doesn't have to be super accurate, but in the general area. Okay. Especially for your first or second scan, doesn't need to be super accurate. And I didn't scan. There you go. Pretty sure I pressed the button on that one. As soon as you land, you warp. Keep on the move, right? You don't need to be stationary while you're out here in dangerous space scanning. Keep moving, okay? Keep moving while you're scanning. It's great practice and will save your life, okay? And of course, while you're moving around, make sure you're watching this D-scan or your overview to make sure there is no predators lurking around trying to catch you slipping up, okay? Out of warp again, and we're moving. Always moving. I don't know if I'll be able to get this one. We'll see. Because this ship that I'm using currently, it's not meant for scanning anomalies like this. This is a PvP ship built for just scanning down players, really. Up to the sun. Oh, it is another wormhole. So we should be fine there. And of course, you don't have to be super fast, but utilize that time in between your warps to get off these scans while you're out there. And even if you do, if it's a little too much for you, if you have a prop module or a propulsion module, select it in a direction and just keep going. But no, this is still not as safe as just warping around, right? Warping around, it can be a great thing, but in places like wormhole space, people can set up bubbles for you, and you may not see them on D-scan, and you may just run right into them, okay? May end up running right into them. Now we have this scan, and we're gonna warp at range. Now, if this wormhole was further away, like out of our D-scan range, you should always warp at range, okay? Because people love to sit on the wormhole and have it bubbled. That way, you warp at range, you're safe, okay? But not always safe, because they could just push out that warp bubble further than 100k, and you may still end up caught in it. If there is a predator that is on the bubble, or they have an area bubbled, use your brain, okay? Use your brain. And if you're in a cloaky ship, you'll have a lot of time. So while you're out here, and there's a bubble, right? Let's say we're here, right? And the bubble is behind the hole, so in line with diggy hole. Okay, if it's in line with diggy hole, and right, the bubble's here, and if you warp from diggy hole to the wormhole, guess what? You're gonna get caught. So try your best to look very quickly for another area you can warp from. Okay, we don't have very much options here, but you could warp to the leftmost limit, which is looking like here at the deposit, which is a better angle. Okay, so you'd warp off to the deposit here, and then you'd warp to the hole directly, right? You evade that bubble. Just some very simple tactics that you guys can use out there while on the grid. And while you're out here, remember, remain spontaneous don't repeatedly do things as a habit, don't always warp to 0, or you'll probably always die. Okay? Be very spontaneous out here, because there's people like me who get into that beginner mindset and just, hey, this guy's gonna warp to 0 to all his locations, so I'm just gonna go to 0. I'll wait, right? I'll wait at 0. I'll probably be one step ahead of you and just wait there until you land and then kill you. Very unfortunate, right? So now we're back here, and of course, not like regular space, naturally, while you're in wormhole space, the structures will not always be here. So you can look at the moon areas. You may see a structure, you may not. There was a ship there. Also, my warp too. Oh yeah, there was a shuttle there. Seen him warp off. But yeah, see, simple things like that, right? Keep your, even if you're selected on a different tab, just watch your screen. Watch all around so you can keep your awareness level on high while you're out and about. But yeah, that's really a quick guide here to scanning and a little bit about wormhole space. More to come about wormhole space. Just know, while you're in wormhole space, the mechanics are different. You have various effects that do happen, okay? And say you escape a wormhole. Now you're on the other side, and there is people there, burn towards the gate or warp off. You have to make that split-second decision of what you're going to do. So you're running away from your opponent. And now you're through, and now you're going to be in a pickle, okay? Now you're polarized, which means you cannot jump through again. This is just a wormhole limitation of what your ship can handle, and your ship cannot handle going through again for another 4 minutes, 9 seconds. Okay, keep that in mind when you keep consistently jumping through wormholes. Your ship cannot handle it, so they put a timer on there. Once the timer counts down, you're good to go. But keep that in mind while you're out here, because you're going to be panicking. Just keep that mindset that you can only jump through 2 times, and then you're going to get polarized. So, and of course, like I was saying, there's various effects. So we are in a class 3 wormhole. It goes from 1 to 5. 1 being the least, I guess how you would say, least dangerous. There is still wormhole materials and stuff in there, but there's less anomalies and easier rats, but not as good for loot. But again, risk versus reward. Easy place, you know, minuscule, easy loot. Harder place, great loot. A lot of resources there. And then, of course, these effects here on your screen, each place is different. They have varying effects, so make sure you take that into consideration if you're going to be spending a long period of time out here in that wormhole. Okay, so when you're doing PvE in the wormhole, make sure you take this in consideration before you bring your PvE or PvP ship into the wormhole space. That way you don't get heavily penalized on your fit, right? Build with the effects, not against it, or else you just have a death wish. Take advantage of the effects out here, and if it is against you, right? Not everybody has great skills and can fit things however they want. Find another wormhole, okay? There's many wormholes out there free to find, all somewhat different than the next. So find one that's perfect for you. Hang out in there, but do not hang out very long, as there are always predators flowing in and out of the area, not just from high sec, low sec, null sec, but from other wormholes. Okay, keep that very in mind. While you're out here, there is no local chat. As you can see, no local chat, so you have no idea who's in here. Not a clue. The only way you would know is to put an alt account on each hole and seeing who comes through, and even doing that is quite hard. So as you can see, there is somebody out here probing. He is possibly probing for me. Very possibly. That is not me. As you can see, my probes are currently docked right now. Bring our AUs in. Within 5, no. Within 10, within 10. They could probably be honing in on that location there, maybe. But yes, be pulsing your D-scan to see what you can see out there. Like I said, you will not be able to detect any cloaky targets. The only time you'll see that cloaky ship is when it's decloaking on top of you. Okay. The only thing that exposes themselves is either them clicking that cloak module off or coming within about 2,500 meters or 2,000 meters. And then they'll decloak themselves because they're in too close proximity. And that's the only way. For now. Anyways. But yeah, just keep those tips in mind. They will definitely help you out here. There's a lot more tips to come, but I just wanted to cover the basics of scanning, how to scan, and what you need. Make sure you apply this every time you go out, even in high sec. Keep these practices, make it a habit, okay? That way when you come into wormhole space or any dangerous area, you come correct, okay? And you don't have to learn from any mistakes, right? You're not gonna make any while you're out here, because you already know what to expect, okay? As long as you watch this video, you paid attention. Now, I cannot guarantee your safety overall. Unexpected things will happen that you have no idea could be possible or have thought of. So just keep an open mind out there. Anything can happen. But watch your D-scan. Watch your overview. Watch the grid. Keep mindful of what you're doing, okay? Keep mindful of all your actions to keep yourself moving and away from all the threats out there. If you're on an exploration ship, they want you. Very easy target, very lightly armored. And they're gonna come after you, I promise. They're not just gonna leave you alone. They're gonna hunt you until you're out of the system or out of the wormhole. I can guarantee you that. Use everything you know out there, and of course, please teach once you have learned to all the new members that come into the Founding Flame. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.